tale. Well, there's a place I've come to know well, led by a man named Sty. He's full of stories, he is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy.
Good evening, everybody. Hey, Sunday evening. Welcome to the Sty Shack and Sty Story Sunday. Hey, we're going to do the best we can tonight, guys. We're going to do the best we can. It's not a traditional Sty Story Sunday. I apologize in advance for that. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. I got to shout out the great folks that have been out in the chat. Old Country Homesteading showed up. He's saying hi. He's asking how I'm doing. It's great to see you out there, Alexander. Me, Dibble, just won't be able to make it again tonight, but stopped and give me a thumbs up. Oh, it's great to see you. Yeah. And there's Tim with Kirk Whipper Voyager Center. Hey, Tim, I hope you're doing well. It's awesome to see you. And Justin Anderson. There you are. Great to see you, Justin. Awesome. It's quiet out in the chat this evening. It's quiet out there. Yeah, it's another Sunday. Now, nobody's seen much of me over the last week. The last Sunday was the last time I did a stream. And oh gosh, there's Eric Pollock jumping in. Hey, it's good to see you, Eric. It's been a while. Awesome. It's great to see you. But this last week was pretty rough. So, but that's part of the story behind no story tonight. Yeah, that's part of that. So we'll get into that at about the half-hour mark. I'm going to do it just like a Sty story, but it's kind of current affairs type Sty story tonight. But I'll tell you what, I got gotta say hi to this fella, man. Hey, Freeman James. Hi, Sty and everyone. Oh, it's great to see you, brother. Yep. Give Sis a big hug for me, eh? Jim, do that. So, anyway, I got a fella in the basement. I'm going to bring him up. I haven't actually talked to him for about a week. So, yeah, any chance I get a chance to talk to this fella, I'd love it because we technically live together. We don't see each other much, but we live together. There he is. My running water. Yep. People ask me, hey, you got running water at your house? No, he's halfway across the country right now. That's not what I mean. Oh, okay. I got flush and toilet here 5 times a year too. And you think it's backed up a little when I finally get flush and toilet? Yeah. Yeah. So this young feller ran in a truckers rodeo this weekend. Now I gotta say real quick, running water, the company's post that you put on Facebook. Yeah, you look at that's probably the happiest rodeo photo I saw of you is at that barbecue. Oh, that barbecue looked good, man. Oh.
No, yeah. I was having fun. You get, drivers that, that they just buckle down, work hard for it. I wasn't given much heads up on it, didn't, really have everything I needed to study for it. But right. I was there to, just for the, camaraderie, we're all doing this for a good cause and, having a good time, hang out, meet some new people and just,
and it's the first time with this organization that you've ever done any kind of competition. And Running Water had explained to me that that they have a written test portion, then they have a performance driving portion. And the written test portion, they didn't even provide them with the study materials except about a week ago. It was less than a week ago, actually, I think, that you actually got it in your hands. So, and these other drivers have competed before, or they had their materials for a long period of time. So he kind of got shortchanged there and find out that this written exam portion is all right out of that material. So he didn't even have time to study that material enough to he still did quite well. Like he said, he made educated guesses on some of the questions and he pulled it off. But the performance side too was kind of goofy. He explained it to me and it was, I wouldn't want to go.
It was unique, and in a lot of ways, when it comes to driving competitions like this could be considered a really easy course.
Right. If you knew what was coming.
Right.
Yeah. You didn't have a clue what they were going to have you doing in the driving portion.
No.
I got to shout out real quick. Hey, Sheba B, Lori, it's good to see you out there. Bradley Whitworth. Hey, it's awesome to see you. Awesome. There we go.
Well, what really threw me off is it was no backing at all.
That's what throws me. That's what throws me is there's no backing.
When they said there was no backing, I'm like, well, geez, that's my best skill.
Yeah. See, if I were to compete and they said there's no backing, I'd say, oh, I give up. I quit. I'm done. That was always my forte in driving the big truck was the back.
Yeah, I'll back it anywhere you want, but you want me to pull it forward and get the thing was it's like some of the turn stuff like come around this barrel. You're supposed to come as close as possible. You have to be like within 6 inches of that barrel to get the top point. It's like, okay, my whole career is staying away from stuff and avoiding stuff.
Right. And you're in big construction sites and you either have all the room in the world or you got none. So
it's usually I'm going around like a fire hydrant or utility post coming up and I need to stay away from that.
Right.
If the competition was, hey, you got this limited area and whoever can stay the furthest away from it gets higher points. Hey, I do great at that.
No kidding. Give me
Yeah.
40 acres and I'll turn this rig around.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way that I found. Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily,
Good to see you, Anthony.
yeah, the tractors, the trucks themselves were donated from one of the local companies there, but the trailers are Chief trailers.
Well, they were.
So
So the
I
flatbeds belong to you.
yeah, so I knew how the flatbed would handle. I just wasn't used to that day cab, but you know, I know what to expect next year. So
That's right.
yeah,
That's right. That's, I tell you what, folks, I was giving him all the pats on the back earlier, telling him when he's explaining how things went. I told him, I know for a fact, I know running water as well as you can know it, man. And yeah, he would have pounded the hell out of that whole operation if he would have been given some front end information about it first. He went into it totally blind. And yeah, Anthony, there's always next year. Always next year. Rebecca Felter, it's great to see you, girl. Oh, hi. Yeah.
well, and I'm not one of those that get upset or bitter because it didn't work out.
Right.
It's like it's like
It's
yeah, I could do it again next year. I had fun. They had great food.
Yeah, that barbecue sure looked good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's like every day, they had catering in there. We had ribs and chicken. And, yeah. Had taco bar the one night. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. Like you said, they give you $500 for a weekend of just going and having a good time. They feed you. They throw you in a motel. You get the room, the food, the fun. Hell, I'd show up to lose to get all that shit.
Yeah, they had like prizes and stuff. Well, they had like a casino night, which is playing with dummy money.
Yeah.
Which I'm not much of a gambler.
Right.
So they start you off with like $20,000 worth of chips. So I went to the roulette table. I'm like, okay, put it on the 1 through 12, all of my chips. And it hit. And they're like, okay, well, here's your IOU. And it's like, that's what you need to go put it in to get your baggie full of raffle tickets. I'm like, well, I'm done for the night. Yeah. It's like, hey.
Yeah.
And then I bought some raffle tickets they had a Winchester 22 lever action that was customized with like a semi truck embossed on it and stuff. It's a pretty sharp looking little rifle, but yeah, I didn't win that, but I thought that would have been something nice to hang on the wall in the studio.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been cool. I would have taken it out to the range, man. I would have cleaned it real nice so that he didn't know I used it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a short little brush gun, but yeah, pretty sharp. Hey,
Rebecca, I totally understand. She's playing a game and she's got a tab open listening to us. That's something I do at times during the day when I'm on my PlayStation. Is I'll have YouTube running in the background and I'll listen to somebody's stream. That's cool. Oh, hey, Phil, everything spicy's in the house, man. Oh, yeah, we haven't got...
Don't be spreading rumors like those rumors. People are going to get the wrong idea.
He's speaking for himself, Phil. I'll take it. I'm a pretty gentle man right now. Oh, Phil, it's so good to see you in the chat, man. We haven't gotten together and chatted in a long time. I love your shorts, your TikTok shorts, man. You're doing good. I love them. Anybody out there that's not following Everything Spicy, you get over there and follow them, man. Do it. Yeah. My gosh. I was looking out today. I had to run to the store. I didn't think I was going anywhere today, but I had to run to the store. And I walk out the house and I'm standing on the porch and I'm like, oh Jesus, look at the lawn. I'm gonna I don't I won't be able to mow that lawn until next weekend. So it's gonna be like a hay field. And I couldn't find I looked in the shed today. That took some effort just going to the shed and looking in there. But I couldn't find a yard rake, a regular yard rake. I know we got one around here somewhere. The
I don't know if we do. I don't think I've ever bought one.
the so I'm gonna grab one at Walmart during the week because I know I'm gonna have hay to rake when I mow next. Um, the yeah, metal music maniac. I really like day calves. Capable of a quarter-mile burnout. Don't ask how I know. I just know.
Yeah. I heard it from someone else.
Yeah, I heard it from someone else. I had a cab over Freightliner with a 433 Cummins in it that was dual turbo, and never bobtailed with that. The only time that truck didn't have a trailer on it was when I was swapping trailers. Never drove it anywhere bobtailed. Well, I had the opportunity to drive around Madison, Wisconsin with it bobtailed one weekend. I was sitting at a light and a couple of young boys in a little what was that? Oh, they were in a Monte Carlo. They're down there, and I could tell, yeah, bad exhaust. Not because they had a hot engine with a nice tuned set of headers on it. It was just loud exhaust. And I had my window open. I yelled at the kid on the passenger side, race you to the next light. Well, with that 433 Cummins, that's a real low stroke motor, man. That thing's got some torque. I popped that sucker into fifth gear, cranked her up. When I dumped the clutch on that thing, and I had locked the rear axles in. So, it was in posi track. And when I dumped the clutch on that bugger, I myself was amazed. That old cab over just stood up. Its nose popped up and it just stood up, man. And those dualies, it's like they just squatted about 10 inches and smoke coming off of them stinking tandems was amazing. And they beat me by maybe a half a car length, and that's all. And I think if I would have taken sixth gear, I would have beat them. But I found out, if you're bobtailing there, you can get a lot of power out of a truck, man.
Yeah. These rigs are designed to get 80,000 pounds up to speed.
Yeah. Hey, Roman Filer's in the house. It's great to see you, Roman. There's another one of my brothers. He's great. He's a great fella, man. I'm telling you. Shiba B is saying you better make sure running water isn't just hiding it so you can't use it before you go and buy one. That might be a little too much work for you right now. Now, Lori, you're hitting the nail on the head. That sneaky little bugger, man. Him setting me up a bedroom downstairs here. I never could have done it. I just physically couldn't have done it. And he snuck that while I was at my cancer treatment. And it was a lot of day. And I'm amazed he did it in an hour. I mean, because he did a lot, man. He had to reorganize that whole office. He had to go up to the attic, get the mattress, get the bed and everything out of the attic. And then he makes the bed and everything. It was all ready for me to use. And he said, I said, don't be doing that shit. You don't need to do that. He says, why do you think I did it while you were at the doctor's office? You weren't here to tell me no. So that's just the way the boy is, man. That's so just the way he is. Hey, Ingalls family, it's great to see you. Hello, hello. Um,
Yeah, you taught me well. It's easier to ask forgiveness than it is for permission. You know.
oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah. The but that was an absolute wonderful surprise. The I was for most of you, I didn't stream Thursday night. We'll get into that more here at the half hour mark. But I've been missing you guys. I've been jonesing all week. There were a lot of times I was so tempted to just come in and start a stream just to see some of you folks, and that helps a lot. That helps a lot knowing you folks are all out here. You'll have to excuse me once in a while because I have a lot of pain issues right now. So I'll be pausing at times, and it's just to get over some of the waves, some of the pain waves. It can't be the kind of thing where like a broken arm hurts all the time. Yeah, it hurts all the time. So you get kind of used to it. This pain I've got comes in waves. It doesn't. There's times like right at this moment, I feel $100, man. And within another 5 minutes or so, I'll get a wave, and yeah, it's damn near debilitating. So it's, but there was no way in hell I was not going to do a Sty Story Sunday this Sunday. And I want everybody to know I plan on doing one next Sunday. But there are some other things I will be telling you about here in a few minutes about what to expect on the channel here for a while. It'll be tough for me, but we'll get through this thing. Roman, at the half hour mark, I'll be explaining what my dinners are like now. And let's see. That'd be 10. Let's see. No. That'd be 8. Yeah. That's 10 meals there, Roman. You just fed me 10 times. Look at that, guys.
Awesome.
He just fed me 10 times. The other day I did my career was in finance, so I'm kind of I'm a bean counter, so I go in and I'm looking through the fridge and start bean counting. I got a little over $300 worth of food in our fridge. Our fridge is so packed tight. If running water came home, I'd tell them, you got to eat some of this shit to make room for the stuff you want in there. Because it's packed tight. It's packed tight full. I can just get the fridge door shut. It's over $300 worth of food. I can't eat 2/3 of it. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. I sent a bunch of food home with my daughter last week, and I'm looking in there and I'm going, this is bad. And they wanted so bad to do a certain procedure on me that would have guaranteed I wouldn't eat anything out of that fridge. I wouldn't be able to eat a thing out of that fridge. We'll get into that some more too. But and I said, whoa, no, you can't do that to me. And they said, we might have to. I said, no. I said, I got over $300 worth of groceries in my fridge that are fresh foods that go bad. And most of them you can't freeze. and expect it to last. It's not gonna. It doesn't do good frozen. I said, so I'm not going to throw $300 away. If it takes me 6 months to nibble through that shit, I'm not throwing it away. And that's, yeah. Roman, I remember those days, man. I remember when you were doing that stuff. You had to, told us about it. Yeah. He lives in Colorado, and he went to Iowa, and he made his mom dinners for several months. And like he said, it was a big undertaking, but she didn't have to worry or work on it. And I have to say, there's a lot of people out there that, have shown just how caring they are. I mean, that's one area I'm feeling a little better about is what I've got coming down the road that looks like I'll have some support, and that's going to help me get through this stuff. Yeah. Well, with that, hey, running water, I don't think I'm going to put you off to the side tonight for the Sty Story section. I'll just leave you up here.
I'll mute myself.
Just be yourself. So let's get it going. I mean, it's only 3 minutes before the half-hour mark anyway. So we'll get this thing rolling for tonight's Sty Story. Tonight's Sty Story is the story behind no story. Just think of the, excuse me. When I get those pain surges, my stomach reacts. So it's like I start to burp, and it's a step away from like a dry heave, feeling. But so bear with me, would you? But look at here. Cheesehead Chris is on the chat, and he says, just think of the money you'll save once you get rid of them cancer sticks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not getting rid of them. I don't care what anybody says until after I'm done with my treatments next week. Once I'm done with my treatments and I've had a week's recovery, then I'm concentrating on going cold turkey, totally getting rid of. I couldn't take the stress of not smoking right now. I just couldn't. I wouldn't be able to bear it. Actually, each cigarette I have actually settles the pain that I'm dealing with. So please don't ask me to stop while I'm going through that. Cheesehead says to put that money in his 401k. No. He has his 401k in the armrest of my truck. And during my recovery period, I've already made that decision. If I feel well enough, I'm going to get together with Cheesehead, and I'm going to get together with Travis down in at Black Lake Campground. I'm not going to camp, but I'm going to go spend a day with Travis and his family during my recovery period. It's about the best I'm going to be able to do during that time. But Gemma's Journey Grace just became a new member. Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. But, okay, back to the story behind the No Sty Story. Last week, we haven't seen each other since Sunday. Unless you showed up Saturday for Mojo's Grilling and Chilling with Mojo, I was on there. I had a period of time on Saturday that I felt really, really well. And I jumped online and Saturday, yeah, right, yesterday. And that's all right, Gemma. She says, sorry, I didn't mean to distract you. That's a distraction. Yeah, it's priceless, girl. But so because I felt well and I wasn't going to go online. I was just going to get things set up for tonight's stream in advance. And well, I felt good. And what the heck, I can't help myself. Got to get on there, see what's going on YouTube, see what's going on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Hi, Mr. Fulton out there in the chat. And Roman, I love you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. You're the best, bro. But so I'm going to try to give you the quick behind the story. So last Sunday we had our stream. It went great. It was a great stream last Sunday night. Monday morning I started feeling pretty ill, which was unusual because I went 2 days without any treatments, cancer treatments. And I felt pretty good Monday morning. By the time I got to the cancer clinic, now Mondays were my long days, 7 hours, between 6 and 7.5 hours each visit. So I knew I had a long visit, and I got there, and it was rough. I started dry heaving. Yeah, I got nothing to throw up. I was just dry heaving. They put me through my chemo. I got my last chemo done. They put me through my radiation. I saw a few doctors. And we figured we had it kind of things figured out and under control. And by Wednesday, Tuesday afternoon, early afternoon, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink. The pain was so severe. I had my morning radiation therapy that morning. It was after that. And the pain was so severe I couldn't swallow anything. It was hard just to breathe. Just the motion of breathing, my lungs inflating and going back caused so much pain. It was terrible. Well, I went into the clinic Wednesday for my radiation. And it didn't go so well. It just got worse. The pain got worse. So I didn't eat or drink all day Wednesday. Thursday morning, I got up. I had a hell of a time just getting myself out of bed. Not that I couldn't get up. It's just there's no way I wanted to move because every body movement made my esophagus hurt so bad. So I got to the clinic and I was so dehydrated and so sick feeling. Now I'm talking about Wednesday, and they noticed that something was off with me. And they told me, they said, well, you see the doctor on Friday, and they said, you make sure he knows everything you're going through. I said, don't worry about it. I'll bring him up to speed. Don't worry about it. I should have said something right then and there that, yeah, this has gotten real bad. But Thursday, I get to the clinic I walk in the clinic doors and they got a big waiting room and it's packed. There's only 2 seats available in the waiting room. And you got to walk all the way through that waiting room to the registration desk. I looked at distance and I thought, if I could make it to the registration desk, they got chairs right there. And hopefully there's not somebody registering. I made it about halfway across the room and collapsed. My body just gave out on me, just totally gave out on me. It hurt so bad. And so here I am in the middle of a waiting room with about 16 people sitting in there, rolling on the floor in agony and pain. And I just got this determination. It's just like, no, bullshit. You're going to get through this. I guess get through it, man. I crawled over to one of the empty chairs, used it to help get me back on my feet. And I waddled myself. I had my hiking stick with. And I waddled over to the registration desk, looked around the corner, and I seen the gal, and she did have somebody sitting there. She didn't know what had just happened in the lobby. And I just told her, I'm here. Nothing's changed. I was born February 11th, 1957, and you know my damn name. Call me when you're ready. And I headed back in the lobby and got into a chair. And so they came out, they got me. I had to have the radiation tech help me out of the chair. We didn't get 20 feet down the hallway, and he said, you have got to see the doctor. I said, I see the doctor tomorrow. Don't worry about it. He says, I don't think you're going to make it back out to your truck, buddy. I said, no, I'll get there. Don't worry about me, man. I'll get there. Got in there. They got me on the table. And this one young gal, she's been there for every treatment I've gotten. And what have I gotten now? 22 treatments? She's been there for every one. All of a sudden, she's over the top of me, looking me in the face. And she says, I want to know, what have you been doing this week? I said, nothing. She says, just sitting watching TV and this and that. I said, I turn the TV on and I don't watch. It's just to have sound in the background. I said, I sit on the couch. And the only reason I get off the couch is to go to the restroom. And then I come back to the couch. And then I go to bed. Then I come back out to the couch. Going to bed isn't tough. It's only about 12 feet away from the couch. So I said, that's it. That's what my week has been. She said, well, I got what's hopefully good news for you. You're seeing the doctor as soon as we're done doing your treatment. I said, doctor ain't here till tomorrow. She said, doctor's here right now, going to see you. Well, it was a new doctor. He's been part of the team all along, but I haven't interacted with him much. And, well, that new doctor was the trick. That was the trick right there. He examined me. And we talked about the pain levels. He asked he said, they've got it right in your chart that you've got what they consider an 80% pain tolerance, that you can tolerate 80% more pain than the average person. I said, oh, really? And he said, yeah, there's a lot of footnotes under that about how you've reacted to certain pain and your recovery from your heart surgery years ago. And he said, so your history is that you don't ever take pain meds. You don't do anything for pain. You just live with it. And I said, yeah, it's part of life, man. You know, if it doesn't make you defunctional, you know, you can't function. Why take it? Well, I'm going to bring this fella up. We'll chat after I'm done filling you in. But here he is. There's one of my favorite buds in the world, man. Good to see you, Mojo.
Good to see you, sir.
I'll be done here in just a few minutes.
You do your thing.
Okay. But so when he gets done examining me, he says, we're sending you right over to infusion. We got to get 2 liters of fluid in you immediately. He says, you are extremely dehydrated. I said, yeah, I haven't had any water in 3 days. I haven't had any liquids. And he said, we're going to get 2 liters of fluid in you as quick as we can. So they put an IV in both arms and a liter on each arm and just pumped me full of juice, right? And he said, now that's going to take care of the dehydration. He said, this pain, he says, we can, everybody here, he says, I got people from infusion that saw you walk by their department that called my office and said, that they've never seen me in such rough shape. They said something really bad's going on. Well, he asked me my pain levels, 1 to 10. And he asked where the pain was. I said, it's in the esophagus near the stomach. I said, that's where the pain's at. And it comes in waves. I said, so you want me to rate 1 to 10 on a pain that's not always there? I said, it comes in waves. He says, okay. He says, when it does come on, when it first starts coming on, what would you rate it at? I said, a 3, maybe. And he goes, okay. When it's at its peak, what do you rate it at? And I said, a 12. Now, like I said, this doctor and I haven't worked with each other closely in the past. So he's looked at me right in the eyes and he says, I usually smile when somebody says they're over the 10 mark. He says, I'm not smiling today. So he says, you might not like this, but he says, I need you to follow it. If you say no to what I'm going to prescribe to you, he says, you're going in tomorrow morning and you're getting a feeding tube put in. He says, and I'll probably hospitalize you for a few days, and we will give you what I am prescribing, whether you want it or not. So I told him, I said, hey, sounds like you're packing a double-barrel shotgun. Let both barrels fly, buddy. I'm ready. He goes, you're going on fentanyl. He says, I'm putting you on fentanyl. He says, you're also going on morphine. He says, I'm also giving you Lanocaine that you're going to take 20 minutes before you ever try to drink or consume anything. The Lanocaine will kill it'll deaden the esophagus to the point that you can swallow. He said, the fentanyl is a patch. And he says, you'll wear that patch for 3 days, swap it out, wear it for 3, swap it out. He said, the codeine you're going to take on demand. Anytime your pain levels exceed 6, I want you to take 2 milliliters of that morphine. And I'm just sitting there shaking my head. You're talking to the wrong boy. I ain't doing it, man. He goes, so you're not going to take the fentanyl and morphine? He picked the phone up, started dialing. I go, what are you doing? He says, I'm getting a hold of the emergency room. We're going to get you admitted. Because he says, we're going to put a feeding tube you new, and we're going to keep you for 3 to 5 days, and we're going to put you on fentanyl and morphine, whether you fucking like it or not. He says, and if you refuse, I'll have a 72-hour emergency detention order on you, and we'll do it ourselves, whether you want it done or not. I said, fine, give me the script. I'll try it. Well, now, mind you, this guy, I wish I had a picture of him. He's got long hair. He looks like an old hippie, man. He's got long hair. He's got the oddest shaped glasses I ever seen. And he's just down to earth, kind of cool kind of character. And I thought, and I'm looking at him thinking, you're not prescribing this without some background. I'm thinking, this boy's tried this stuff, you know. Look at this boy. Well, they did me a big favor. I slapped that fentanyl patch on that afternoon. I used the codeine about 45 minutes or so before I tried to eat. I used that Lanacaine. That Lanacaine sucks, man. It's a syrup and it's thick and you got 15 milliliters of it. That's a lot. And you got to it pasty. It's like eating boogers, man. It's just bad. Yeah. But it deadens. It does. It deadens the esophagus. My pain was gone. Now my daughter came to, she was there. This will throw you. I'm sitting in my exam or in the IV room, the infusion room, and they've got 2 IVs in me. I'm sitting there, and I always tell them, keep the door and the curtains open. I want to see what's going on out there. I'm nosy. I want to see the world. And so they do. They said, most people think it's pretty private. I said, what the hell? So what? I got a couple tubes sticking out of my arms. Leave it open. Well, I'm sitting there and I'm looking all the way down the hallway to the exam room the doctor saw me in. And all of a sudden, here comes my ex-wife. And she goes into that exam room with my doctor right behind her and my daughter right behind the 2 of them. Well, my ex-wife saw me sitting in that room. And she had her expression totally changed. And when they got in the room, the door was still open down there. And I all of a sudden see my daughter poke her head around the corner and she sees me way down the end of the hall. They didn't know I was there. And all of a sudden my daughter comes running down the hall and she comes in, she goes, what is going on? And I told her what was going on and updated her. And she said, well, I got to be with Mom. This is her last visit here. And then they're trying to set up her surgery a couple months down the road, a month or 2 down the road. I said, okay, yeah, go be with your mom. That's what you're here for. It's for her. So she runs back down there. She comes back. She said, I had to get out of there. I said, why? And she said, well, she said, Mom's in tears. For what I was going through. Now you'd have to know her. She hates me with a passion. So what do I come back with? With 2 of the infusion nurses standing there in my room? I come back with, oh my God. Give her a few more radiation therapies. I said that radiation burnt all the cancer off around her heart. I said, son of a bitch, it's working. I said, she might die of cancer, but she ain't dying of a bad heart if they keep giving her that treatment. I said, for that gal to have any sympathy for me, that's a freaking miracle. So that made my day. It really did. It might sound cruel, but it did. It made my day that she realized that, yeah, I'm in the same boat, sinking boat with her, you know? And so they get me out of there. I felt pretty damn good after getting 2 full liters of juice put in me, you know? And I headed home, and my daughter came and visited for about 4 hours. And she gave me some good news. She's going to be here Tuesday of this week. This week is my last week of treatments. I have 4 more radiation treatments. And they're really concerned. My hemoglobin's still good. My blood count's still good enough that they can continue with the treatments. They said we're amazed at how well your hemoglobin's held up. Usually by this point, they're worried about internal bleeding because your hemoglobin's so low and blah, blah, blah. And they said, right now, we don't even have to worry about that with you. Everything came back good other than the fact you're so dehydrated and the pain issue. And I said, well, what do I have to look forward to next week? And they said, that's why the doctor insisted that you be on fentanyl and morphine, because next week, and the nurse practitioner that I was talking with, she said, I don't know if he wants you to hear this or not, but you insist on hearing everything. She said, next week, you double up on what you're dealing with this week. Double up. She said, you might want a urinal at your couch instead of having to get up to go to the restroom. She said, you're not going to want to move. The pain is going to be pretty intense. She said, he's already got an order in. You got to pick it up on Tuesday. That bumps up my fentanyl and bumps up the morphine because they pre-anticipated. You know, they know it's going to come. And what's happening, they explained to me, is now the radiation is starting to affect and kill off some of the healthy cells. And it's causing like an internal sunburn of my esophagus. And they said that they will be able to guarantee me that within a week after my last treatment, I should see a pretty significant change in the pain levels. They said you'll start healing right away. They said, and in about a week, you'll start feeling it'll seem dramatic, the change that you'll have. So I'm looking forward to 2 weeks from now. Really looking forward to 2 weeks from now. But they saved me from having to be tube fed with the opiates. Yesterday, I ate 4 cups, 2 pounds of watermelon. It goes down. It goes down. And guess what? Watermelon is 78% water. So it's keeping me hydrated at the same time. So I ate 2 pounds of watermelon. I also ate half of a container of crab salad. That's 200 calories per half cup. And that container holds 2 full cups. Well, I ate half of that. That's 400 calories. Just eating that. The watermelon's 100 calories per cup. So I got about 400 to 600 calories from the watermelon. Then I found I can eat Townhouse crackers. Well, 4 of those are 70 calories. Well, I ate a whole pack of them. Well, I just put another 400 calories on my list. So what did I do today? That was yesterday. It was a miracle as far as I was concerned that I actually got to eat something. And I can sip water. I can sip water now without the pain being so severe. Today, I've already eaten what I ate yesterday. I ate that already this afternoon. And I'm hungry again. So after this stream tonight, I'll quick eat. Probably half that much again. Eat half that much again. I'll barely have enough time to eat half as much again because I got to get to bed no later than, say, 10 o'clock at the latest because I got to be shaken out at 5 a.m. tomorrow. They want me in the clinic at 6:15 tomorrow morning. It's a long day tomorrow. They said plan on 6 to 8 hours in the clinic tomorrow. I don't know what the hell all they're going to do to me tomorrow, but I know I'm getting my radiation. I got to see 3 different doctors. I saw the cardiologist yesterday morning, and I got a clean bill of health on the heart. He says, you're surgery ready as far as your heart's concerned. He said, so you're getting the go-ahead for surgery based on your cardio. So that's good, you know. Yeah, they fixed my heart 6 years ago. That bugger's still under warranty, for crying out loud. It better work good, you know. So next week, she would be out in the chat is saying, I didn't know they could give you something if you absolutely refused. They can if not giving it to you is life detrimental. Okay. And that's why he said he would ED me, emergency detention me. They can do that for up to 72 hours. And then they got to go in front of a judge to continue doing that or release you. They don't have a choice. They got to either let you go or go in front of a judge and convince a judge to allow them to keep you in an emergency detention. And during that emergency detention, they can administer meds that are required. Otherwise, it would be life detrimental. And I agree with them now. At the time, you know, I'm just stubborn. At the time, I said, no, I don't want that shit. Well, I honestly believe if I wouldn't have accepted that stuff on Thursday, you wouldn't be seeing me today. You probably wouldn't see me again if I continued that way. I would have died from dehydration, for one thing. So, you know, a lot of pros and cons about them giving you things you wish you didn't have. So, and I don't want to go down that road. No drama, please, folks. Please, the stress is enough without it. So, and I try to keep a smile on my face, you know. I believe that there's a positive outcome coming, you know. It's coming. It's just this is like the last 1,000 feet of a mountain climb, you know. This is the hardest 1,000 feet you're going to have on this trip. So I'll get to the peak. And then it's all downhill from there, man. It's just easy sailing coming back. I get 4 to 8 weeks of recovery after Thursday this week. I think that's going to be, to me, that's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I recover well. So during that recovery, I think I'll be close to back to myself well before the surgery. So, and how is all of that the story behind no story? I sat down here 3 times in the last couple of days, going through my Sty Story list, and I run it through that generator I use that'll randomly pick one. Everyone that popped up, none of them were happy stories. None of them were happy stories. And I said, no, that's it. Usually you say 3 strikes and you're out. Now I tried about 12 times, and every story it was picking was a sad story. And I said, no, I don't want nothing to do with sad stories until this shit is all over. Okay? So no good stories popped up. I said, then guess what? We're going to have a no story Sty Story Sunday. And I'll just tell you a story of esophageal cancer. It's a bitch. It's a bitch. Anybody watching that's never smoked and you think you're going to start smoking, please don't do it. I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you choose to do it, you choose to do it. But please don't do it. If you're currently smoking and you feel the ability to quit, yeah, I'd recommend that you quit. I ain't going to preach at you. I ain't going to say, oh, you're going to die of cancer because of cigarettes. I've been smoking for 53 years. Yeah. And cancer don't show up for 53 years. So I ain't going to preach at you that you should or shouldn't smoke. I'm just saying that it's probably wise not to. Just a little bit of a constructive advice is all that is for you guys. Now, another thing is don't be afraid of life, guys. Don't be afraid of living your life, getting the most out of it. That's what I don't want you to be afraid of. Don't be afraid of saying, well, I really want to do that, but it's kind of stupid. Oh, let yourself be stupid once in a while. You have to. And just live life to its fullest, man. Every minute, every single minute. Even with what I'm going through now, the worst stage of this cancer treatment. Yeah. Every minute's worth it. Every minute is worth it. Yesterday, like I said, yesterday was the one time in the last 6 days that I even felt like talking to other people. I saw Mojo was cooking one hell of a breakfast sandwich, fried bologna, smoked fried bologna. I couldn't help myself, man. I had to jump on there. I felt good, and I was going to steal that moment. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there and dream about smoked fried bologna sandwiches and hang out with some friends. That made my whole day yesterday. Made my whole day. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, hey guys, yeah, Running Water, you can unmute yourself, man. We'll wrap it up with that. That's why there was no conventional story this week. But Roman says, what if you're stupid all the time? Well, that's kind of my life story there, Roman. Look at what you end up with if you're stupid all the time. Yeah. Hi. Hey, Hike with Mike. Good to see you, buddy. There's a man that loves the outdoors. Yeah. Oh yeah, Roman. I know what you mean. I've only tried a couple times in my whole life to quit. I made it 5 weeks once. But my ex-wife, when I was trying to quit, she doubled up on her smoking. She smoked more when I was trying to quit than she did when I wasn't trying to quit. And what I was trying to do when I was trying to quit was just get the cigarettes out of the house, get them out of my truck, just don't have them available. Oh, hell no. She had an open pack in every room of the house, you know. And my favorite cigarettes are like my favorite alcohol. Yours brand. Yeah. If they're yours, I'll have one of those. Yeah. The Yep, the best thing for the inside is the outside. Today, being I was able to eat today, I went and sat out on our porch for about 45 minutes to an hour and hung a new bird feeder out there. So I'm out there watching all the birds. I was disappointed the other day. I didn't have the window cam going for my robin's nest, and the chicks have hatched.
Oh, nice.
Or left the nest. I was out on the back porch, and I seen this fat bird sitting in the bush there by the back porch, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, "What in the hell kind of bird are you?" And I'm checking them out and I'm going, "Oh God, you're a baby robin. You're just fresh out of the nest." And I go, "Oh shit." I run back in the house, looked out the window, and I go, "Yep, they're gone."
It's all right.
Yeah. So the three of them left the nest. Now I hope I can get the nest out of the window before she decides to do another batch of chicks, you know. But yeah, that fresh air is good for you. It's good for you.
It makes a big, huge difference when you go outside and you have all that fresh air and you get you just able to look around.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And when you're cooking out on your back porch there, I can just not just imagine the smells, but the taste, because I don't really know anybody that hasn't experienced how food tastes outdoors compared to in the house.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a world of difference. Out in that fresh air and you're eating a nice savory something.
Taco pizza.
Oh yeah. Hike with Mike says the robins arrived in late December and early January in Florida on their way north. Cool. Yeah. That's one thing we don't have a shortage of is robins.
So they travel. The robins will, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, they're a migratory bird.
Yeah, because we see them here in the Northwest at a certain time. I don't even know what it is, but I stop popping around, and I love them. Robins are beautiful, man.
Yeah, they're a cool bird. You know, the thing with robins is they're worm eaters, so that you don't see them in your bird feeders. You see them out gathering worms all the time. You know, so they're not a bird feeder bird. You know. Yeah. I got enough different. I gotta dig and find my bird books. I don't remember half the damn birds, but just today in less than an hour, I saw 7 different species of bird at the bird feeder. 7 different types of birds, and a few, like 3 or 4 of them, I knew what they were, but the others is just like, I wonder what that is, you know. Hey, John. They like eating our jelly that we have out for our Orioles. Yeah. I bet they do. I saw this robin. I wish the camera had been going. Some local fisherman had gotten a bunch of those green kind of glowworm. They're night crawlers. They're regular worms, but I can't remember what it is. they feed those worms that turns them green. And she come to the nest with this big old green night crawler in her mouth, and I said, holy shit, oh God, get that on camera. It's too late. She shoved it down one of the chicks' throats. But it was kind of funny seeing this big old green worm squirming around in her beak, you know. It's just like, where the hell did you get a radioactive worm? Wow. Yeah, that baby robin's going to have some special powers, I think. Yeah, I tell you what, going through this whole cancer experience, I've learned a lot of things. I've learned a lot of things that I used to think differently about. You know, I used to think so much different about certain things they do for folks with cancer, and I'm starting to rethink a lot of that. I've seen a lot of successes in the last month and a half coming and going out of there. I've seen unsuccessful situations also. So, you know, but what I see when I go there is a lot of people just fighting for their lives. More power to them. Yeah. If it gives them hope, good. You know, there is one fellow that I know there that's terminal, but he's there religiously for his treatments. And he said, I figure each treatment's giving me 2 or 3 days more. He said, and he's got the same attitude I do. I find something good in every day, he said, so I don't want to miss one of them because it might be something really good, you know? Well, okay, I get it. That's one thing I'm sure you can tell. I'm losing the beard. It's disappearing. This morning, well, now you can see my earbud wires. You never used to be able to see those. The beard went all the way down, covered it all, and was wide enough. It covered it all. It's going. It's about 50% gone. This morning I had 2 big handfuls of beard hair that came out. So God knows, next time you see me, I might be pretty well beardless, you know. Oh, that's something I got to fill you guys in on. There will not be around the campfire this week. So everybody watching, if you want to spread the word, go ahead, whatever. But I don't even know if I can get a post up. That's why last week there was no post that I didn't have around the campfire, because I didn't even have the strength to get into the studio here and do it. It just wasn't there. And if they're saying that next week double down on the way this last week was, I won't even be looking at my phone, let alone getting online. So, but I'm still planning on a Sty Story Sunday for next Sunday. That'll be 3 days after my last treatment. I'm thinking I'll feel about how I do tonight, you know, so I'll be able to do it, I think. But then we'll see. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But I'll let you know that night in the stream what I'm going to do with the channel. There may be a couple of weeks that I will have to just not stream. Yeah, the mustache seems to be holding up. The beard is thinned right out. I mean, look at that. You can see my fingers in my beard. There's no beard left. It's going, gone. But they say that within 3 weeks of the end of my treatments, within 3 weeks, it'll start growing back. Now, my ex-wife is on the end of her first week without chemo, and her hair is starting to grow back. So she lost most of her hair, but it's growing back. And thanks, Native Kutsa, sweetheart. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, none of you have seen me without the beard to speak of. Well, I shouldn't say that because I've showed you guys this picture before. Um,
Wow.
as you can see, the stash was pretty healthy even then. But yeah, no beard. You don't want to see me without a beard now, because compared to that picture, I at that time I weighed 257 pounds, and right now I weigh 144 pounds.
Boy, you look like you look like your boy there. I'm telling you. I'm sure that people have said that.
Yeah, my two boys, they kind of mimicked me. I couldn't tell the ex-wife, that kid ain't mine. I never worked with those two boys. That didn't work with my girls either. I guess they got my forehead, and everybody sees it, and they say, "Oh, that's your daughter." Yeah. Oh, that poor girl. But Mystic Bunny. She says they say it comes back thicker and better after, though. In some cases it does. In some cases it actually does. A dear friend of mine, she had advanced breast cancer, and she went through the whole 9 yards, surgery, all the treatments, everything. And she's a Native American gal, and she had the longest, most beautiful hair I've seen ever in my life. Her hair went down to the back of her knees. When she was standing up, her hair ended at the back of her knees. And it was so thick and healthy. And she lost it all due to the cancer. And she had her head shaved, had the hair cut, and donated it. And it was freaking amazing. They made 5 wigs out of her hair.
Wow.
That's how much hair she had. They were able to make 5 wigs out of it. But on the recovery side, after her surgeries, her hair never grew back in like it was anywhere near. And she just decided to keep her head shaved because of it. And she didn't survive. She lasted about 10 months beyond the surgery. But Samantha, sweetheart. Oh, it's good to see you, girl. Oh, yes. So, yeah, I'll never forget that gal. Boy, she was so positive. I told her, I said, "Oh, the loss of your beautiful hair." Well, Running Water remembers her, Jeannie Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't her hair beautiful, man?
Oh, yeah.
And she said, "Oh, it's just hair, but think of it, I helped 5 other people out there."
Yeah, see, your beard, you could have made a good, 5 to 10 merkins out of that.
Probably. I keep telling everybody, or some old gal going through treatment that wants to look like she did back in the 70s. She would have paid big money for that. She could stuff half down each pant leg. And yeah, she'd be happier than hell. Yeah. Oh, aren't I terrible? Aren't I just terrible? But yeah, so now my diet has broadened itself. I don't know if you heard about that, Mojo, but I can eat watermelon like it's going out of style, man. Yeah. I don't know why, because there's a lot of texture to watermelon. Right. I mean, but I'm able to swallow it, and I love the fact there's it's almost 80% water. So it helps me stay hydrated. And I went to Walmart and I bought these little trays of cut watermelon, $4.50 for this 1 pound tray, right?
Yeah.
I'm walking up to the register and I got 3 of those in my cart going, Jesus Christ, almost $15 worth of frickin' watermelon. And then I see those big cartons with the big ass watermelons in them for $4 a piece. I'm going, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. One of these containers is over $4, and it's not even a sixth of one of those big watermelons. I'll get 6 times as much for the same money if all I do is cut it up. Oh yeah, so I got myself a monster melon, and
we got plenty of knives around.
Yeah, that's one thing. If you went into our kitchen and started looking in the drawers and you look at all the knife blocks on the kitchen counter, you go, who are these guys? You know, were they part of the cast for Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something? Yeah, we have so damn many knives in this house. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Cut that big old watermelon up tomorrow, I think. Maybe Tuesday. Then I'll be out of my containers of watermelon. But yeah, I got myself a bunch of 2-cup containers so I can cut a watermelon up, fill them all, stick them in the fridge. Because then I know each one of those containers is worth 200 calories, you know. I don't have to think about the calories. That's just 200 calories. Just grab that and eat that, you know. I can eat sherbet. Oh, sherbet goes down pretty good. Yeah, I can eat sherbet. I can eat yogurt, but I've been eating yogurt for the last 4 months and just getting old. I mean, I don't care what flavor it is. I found myself the other day, I took a container of yogurt, put it in a bowl, opened a can of blueberry pie filling, and put like 4 tablespoons of it in there. I stirred it up. Now that's good. That's good. Yeah.
How about making like strawberries, yogurt, bananas, whatever fruit you really like, and blender it up, you know? Like
like a smoothie.
Those huckleberries are real good for that.
I was going to open my huckleberries and try those in the yogurt.
My I should have an open one in the fridge, I think.
Oh, I'll have to try to find it. I'm not kidding. That fridge is full. Right, the door just touches everything as it goes shut. But in fact, my daughter's coming up Tuesday, and she's going to stay with me Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday through my last 3 treatments. She's bringing a cheesecake from some specialty bakery down southern Wisconsin. Ooh. She said, you're going to love it. She said, it is to frickin' die for. And she asked me if I have a preferred flavor. I said, blueberry. It's good. I love blueberries. We don't get huckleberries anymore because we don't live in Montana, Northwest, you know. Yeah. But she says, okay, I'll bring you a blueberry cheesecake. And I said, and bring me 2 cans of blueberry pie filling. Because I'll put that on top of it too. So there's some things I can eat, guys. There's some things, and the Lanocaine I got to use to deaden the esophagus really F's up it's like getting Novocaine in both your cheeks, your tongue, your throat. It's just like Novocaine. It's the way it reacts. and it screws with your taste buds. Now, I love cottage cheese with peaches. I just love it. Or pears. Just love it. The damn peaches, they're in heavy syrup. They're sweet. They taste like battery acid, for God's sakes. One bite and it tastes just like battery acid. It's just terrible. Why? I don't know. But the watermelon is the best watermelon I've tasted in years. And so certain foods, the flavors, the crab salad I'm eating is just, oh man, it's to die for. It tastes great. The Townhouse crackers don't taste just like Townhouse crackers. They're buttery and taste great. Even with the lanolin, they're just perfect. But certain things are just like, ooh, that ain't right. I know it ain't right. And I know the food's not bad. It's that stupid lanolin that's doing it. But to manage the nausea side of things, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 meds to try to control my esophagus from wanting to regurgitate anything. And what's really odd is of the 7, I can take, there's 5 of them. I can take them at the same time if I want. They don't interact with each other. So that's kind of cool. And they're such simple side effects. I mean, 3 of them, the only side effect that's listed is constipation. I don't have any problem when I'm eating a lot of fruit and watermelon. There's a lot of fiber in watermelon. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of fiber in watermelon. It's just fiber and water is all it is.
Yeah.
And sugar, But actually the carbohydrates in the watermelon isn't that high either. So in general, watermelon is just good for you. It's the unless it's a piss pumpkin. I told that Sty story about the piss pumpkin. The old farmer that lived down the road from my grandma and grandpa's farm. I went down there and he didn't like nobody and nobody liked him, but he liked me. And his 3-legged dog liked me, and his 3-legged dog, I mean, the sheriff went out there. It's kind of like a Wizard of Oz story. The sheriff showed up and said, hey, that dog bites somebody else, I'm coming out here shooting it. And because it was a mean, nasty, shabby-looking dog, black thing, and it was mixed breed, but it had one of its hind legs missing, and this old guy made a wooden leg for that dog, and he put a stainless steel screw into that wooden leg, and how the hell he got away with it? He said, I had to put the dog in a gunny sack to do it. He says, so he wouldn't bite me. He says, but I got a hold of him and I screwed that leg right into the bone in his back leg. And you knew when that dog was coming because this guy had a big front porch on his farmhouse, and you'd be sitting there chatting, and all of a sudden you'd hear this tick, tick, tick of toenails, and you'd hear clunk, tick, 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 clunk, tick, 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 clunk, tick, 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 clunk. Here comes that nasty dog. Well, that old boy, he liked me so much. He says, hey, young man, do you like watermelon? I said, I love watermelon. And he said, you go on out back of the house there along the cornfield there, and you'll see it. There's a fence row there, and you'll see it. I've got a bunch of watermelons growing there. He says, you go pick yourself out any watermelon you want. You can take the biggest one there. I don't care. You just go pick yourself a nice watermelon, take that home with you. So I did. And that son of a bitch, those were the old Great Northerns, the big oblong ones. You know, they're not the rounded kind. They're long and oblong. And I had that big son of a bitch watermelon. I trotted off back to the farm, and I'm sitting out by the old pump house. Oh, look at there. Oh, are you spying on her? That's no shame on you.
Talking about you, babe.
But I got back to the farmhouse and I sat out on the old pump. We had a big old concrete tank that the pump was at. I sat out on that thing and took my pocket knife out and managed to cut it enough to break that sucker open and cut big chunks out of it. And I'm chowing down that watermelon. My grandpa pulls in the driveway, comes walking over to me. He goes, Jesus, boy, you're going to be pissing for a week. I said, yeah, that's a lot of watermelon. He said, where'd you get that? And I said, that old boy down at the end of the road down there. I said, I've been chatting with him. I like him. He's a neat old guy. And I said, he likes me too. He gave me one of his watermelons. He said, go pick whichever one you want. I picked the big one. Aren't you proud of me? And he goes, spit it out. Just serious. Spit it out. I go, no, I won't spit it out. It's a good watermelon. It tastes great. He says, that's a piss pumpkin. You don't want to be eating that. And I go, what do you mean? What's a piss pumpkin? He goes, did you notice that the outhouse is right next to his watermelon patch? And I go, yeah, it's next to it. It's by it. And he goes, he moves that outhouse every year. And then he plants watermelons on top of it. He backfills it and then plants watermelons. That's why them sons of bitches grow so big. He says they're piss pumpkins. He says you're eating that guy's piss and crap for the last year.
Oh, no.
So, fortunately, that didn't spoil my love for watermelon. It didn't spoil my love for watermelon, but I wouldn't eat his anymore. He offered me many times that summer to go ahead and pick another one. Go ahead, get another one. Oh, that's all right. We still got watermelon at home. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, we still.
What's that?
You got an echo. Sorry.
Oh,
So that was for me. I was answering a question down here in the chat. That's pretty funny, but not really.
The wood pellet grill. Now, my buddy Travis from Tales of a Campground Host, he's got a pellet pizza oven. Mojo, I think you would love that thing. Play with that.
Oh, a pizza oven?
Yeah.
Is it a wood burning pizza oven?
Pellets.
Oh, is it a pellet one? Okay.
Yeah, and it's stone. It's a stone oven, top and bottom stones. And he made pizza last summer out at camp when he was camping at my campground. And that pizza was to die for, man. It came out so good. And he was having problems with his pizza sliding off of the fucking board. And I told him, I said, cornmeal or cream of wheat. I said, when I ran my pizza joint, we used cream of wheat because we called it gravel. We never called it cream of wheat in a pizza joint. It was just, hey, we're short on gravel. Get me a box of gravel. And boy, those pizzas just slide off the board, man. Take off. It's like they're on roller skates. And the nice thing about cream of wheat is it didn't have a tendency to turn black on me as it baked.
Interesting.
And it comes off so much easier when you put the board under it to retrieve the pizza out of the oven. That cream of wheat would come off onto the stone, and then you sweep the stone. But so he tried cream of wheat and he said, "Oh, bitch, worked too good." I turned around and the pizza was on the picnic table. It rolled right off the board before as he was. I said, "Oh yeah, you can't move too quick." I said, "It'll want to take off the board, you know."
So cream
But
of wheat. That's
yep,
interesting.
yep, cream of wheat's what we used.
Huh. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
that,
not the chocolate.
Not the chocolate, no.
no.
Unless you're making a dessert pizza, you don't want the chocolate.
Yeah.
Hey, E-Waste Mike, he's saying hi to you there, Drippy Water. And of course, he mentions Bean. You know.
Yeah. Bean was in boarding all week.
Oh, he got to stay at the Bean Hotel, eh?
Yep, yeah. He was never out, hadn't been at that hotel before.
Oh,
to do one for him, and he had fun.
Oh, good.
So he's exhausted. He's been sleeping the whole time he's been back on the truck.
I tell you what, folks, you ain't never seen a dog so well taken care of, man. When Running Water comes home, he keeps being home for a day or two, and then he takes him to the spa. And I mean, that place is a spa. They treat him like gold. And when he comes back home, he smells like fresh daisies and he's clean and the white in his coat just shines and he's happier than snot. I mean, and he spends a whole week at that spa. I mean, yeah, Bean's got it made. Oh, Mike. Mike. All right. All right, you're crazy. Now, Roman, he bought me about 10 meals tonight. You just bought me another easy 4, 5. I mean, with what my diet is now, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that was so kind of you, Mike. Yeah, that's crazy. He's crazy. He's a crazy man. He's a crazy man. Anybody that lives in Michigan's got to be a crazy man. I got to be careful though. I got to be careful. If I had to move somewhere else but stay in the region, I'd move to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Or the top tier of Lower Michigan, anything from Sty North. That part of Michigan I love. I love it. Oh boy. So Mojo, I'm looking forward to Saturday morning. I've probably, even if you don't see me in the chat or if I don't pop up on panel or anything, count on it. I'll be watching you, man, Saturday morning. You surprise me every time you cook. I mean,
what's your favorite breakfast to eat?
My favorite breakfast? Yeah. Yours. What I like is a bed of well-seasoned hash browns with red, green, and yellow bell peppers in it, and maybe a little spicy peppers. Not terrible spicy, but a little. Give it a little southwestern kick.
A little kick.
And what I like is that big bed of hash browns smothered with like a.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
With like a sharp cheddar or.
Okay. Okay.
I like cheese on it. Heck, it could be American cheese. I don't give a shit as long as there's cheese on it.
Uh-huh.
And then you smother the top of that with sausage gravy.
Oh.
And then you put 4 over easy eggs on top of it.
Isn't that the best? That's my fave.
That's to die for.
Why'd you have to like put the secret out. That's gonna be today's breakfast.
Oh shit! Oh my God!
Oh, that's the best. That's my
We
favorite.
we had a restaurant that's about 9 miles north of here in a little town, and only on Sundays did they offer it up, but you could get their sausage gravy special, which was exactly that. Well, you could get any style egg on it. You could get them scrambled, however you want them. But I always ordered it with 4 over easies on top. And I always ordered that, and it came on a big ass oval platter. It was just heaped. And their sausage gravy was excelente. And then I'd get homemade. They made it themselves, homemade toasted. It was toasted raisin bread. And I would, oh God, I'd sit there and eat that toast and that biscuits and gravy with the hash browns and shit. Oh my God. It was, and they only charged $4.95.
Wow.
For the whole meal. And I would show up while everybody's still in church and get my order in, because if you got there literally within 45 minutes of them people letting out of church, you ain't gonna find a place to sit. And even if you did, they're out of it. They'd sell out. I mean, the whole damn county was there to fight for their chance to get that biscuits and gravy. Hey, Nigel Queen. Good to see ya. Not you quick. Yum, give me some. Yeah. I tell you what, when I have the ability to eat regular solids again, things like that, that is the first thing I'm treating myself with, and I'll make it here at home. I'm gonna make me a big ass batch of biscuits and gravy, and well, see, and that's now I take that back. You know what they started doing the last year? Now that restaurants changed owners and they don't do it anymore, but about the last year that I was going up there, they make the best homemade buttermilk biscuits you ever tasted. And they take 2 of those biscuits, break them in half, and put a half on top of each of those over easy eggs. And they put a couple of slices of cheese over that, stick it under the heat lamps in the kitchen till that cheese melted down over the biscuits. Then they'd send it out to me. Wow. So I actually got biscuits and gravy, but that's the way I used to eat. I'd order that, and I'd order a side order of 8 link sausages. And they were big links they had. They were great breakfast sausages. I get a side order of 8 sausages with that. That's so Mojo and I, in my day, and I hope that day comes back, I go in a restaurant, I just chow the hell down, man. Well, it wasn't just restaurants. It was wherever I ate. I chowed the hell down.
Yeah, you know what's funny is back in the day, a place in Southern California would make that similar dish, that breakfast dish.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of places don't do that anymore.
No.
And it's really weird. And I'm like, that would sell. That you use that, you throw it up as a special, and you're going to sell it like mad. And
that's it.
I know, and it's something I've always made, and it's just like,
it
blows my mind.
And that's something I wanted to do about, let's see, it's 2022. That'd be about 10 years ago. I was real close to buying a place in a little town not far from here. There's a little commercial place on the side of the highway in a little town. And I was going to turn it into a breakfast counter. no tables. I was going to install. The building was big enough I could install a 36-foot long horseshoe counter.
Wow.
So it'd be 36 feet down both sides. And then you'd have the rounded end at the one end. You probably put another 4 seats there. And it's good to see you, Matt J.
Yeah.
But and then I was going to have an end open kitchen so that my customers can see me cooking. And I was going to have it elevated about 2 feet above the walking height behind the counter, so that I'd be looking down on the counter and could see all my customers, and they could look up and see me cooking. And all I was going to offer was breakfast, and I was going to be open from 4 a.m. until noon every day, and just breakfast. And I was going to model a place called the Hard Hat Cafe out in Montana, owned by this old gal. Her name was Ruthie. And, you know, she had all of the regulars. You could order a la carte. You know, you could say, well, I want a couple of eggs and hash browns and toast and sausage. Yeah, you can order that way. Or if she had her specials, she had, now like the hard hat breakfast, that one was to frickin' die for, man. That hard hat breakfast, you got enough hash browns for 4 people, man. And they were all peppered up and seasoned, and they're just awesome to die for. You got 4 eggs, and you had a choice. You either got a half a pound of breakfast sausage or a half pound of ham. And she'd give you these big old thick slice of ham on the plate. And with it came your toast, of course. And it was all homemade bread. And all of the sourdough pancakes you ever wanted to eat. And her sourdough pancakes were to frickin' die for. And then we did a little history with her and found out that sourdough starter that she's using for her sourdough pancakes was started in 1854.
Wow.
And it's been the same starter. And it was in its original crock. It was a big crock, about 2 gallons size crock. And that starter in that crock has been traveled from somewhere out east, I can't remember, New Jersey or someplace. And it traveled all the way across the U.S. to Montana. 1854 is when it was started. And so when you're sitting there eating those sourdough pancakes, you're eating the yeast bacteria that creates the yeast in the sourdough that's been alive since 1854.
That's
basically they're like Civil War pancakes.
That's right. That's exactly right. And that was the era and that was one of the reasons it was started, was because of the war issue. And that's why they left the east. They headed west. Post-war, they moved west. They got the hell off the East Coast. But her breakfast counter, what she did, the reason she called it the Hard Hat Cafe is, in that region of Montana, there was only 2 careers. Now this woman was in her mid-70s when I first met her. And she's running this restaurant all by herself. Once in a while, she'd have a waitress work with her. But during her whole lifespan there, she is another person kind of goes to my heart. If she saw an opportunity and she thought it was good for her to learn that and do that, she'd take it. Well, she ran the biggest whorehouse in northwestern Montana for years. And they called it the Strawberry Ranch. But when she started the restaurant, the reason she started it is some of her customers at the Strawberry Ranch were the local working class guys, and there were only two careers. You were a logger or you were a miner. That's all they had up there, mining and logging. In fact, today, that's just about the only thing out there still in that one area, that one region. It's you're a logger or you're a miner. And, well, these guys would complain that they only get paid, the miners would get paid once a month. The loggers would get paid at the end of a job. Sometimes that'd be 3 months before they get their pay. Well, they complain because I can't afford to even eat breakfast because I don't get paid for months. So I got to be real careful. I eat dinner every day, and that's it. Well, when she opened that cafe and called it the Hard Hat Cafe, a lot of these guys would come in 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They got to get out in the woods with the sun coming up. They got to get to the mine by 6 o'clock because the shifts change. They come in and order a cup of coffee because they can't afford breakfast. And she'd tell them, I'll keep a tab on you, but you got to leave me your hard hat. And she had all of these pegs on the wall, and she'd hang your hard hat on the wall. And as long as your hard hat was hung on the wall, you got breakfast every day. Every day of the week, 7 days a week, you'd come in there and get breakfast. And she kept the tab. When you got paid, you come in, pay your tab, and you get your hard hat back. Well, these guys, at the beginning of this process, they were fined $5 a shift for not showing up with their hard hat. Well, when I met her, they were getting fined $15 a shift if you showed up without your hard hat. So their breakfasts weren't cheap. They were costing them $15 a day. But guess how much she put on their tab for every breakfast? $2.
Oh.
That's all their breakfast cost, and it was all they could eat. If you're having a hard hat breakfast, it's all you could eat. If you ate that half-pound sausage and said, "Boy, I could use another half pound," she'd cook it up for you.
Wow.
It's part of the price. And that Hard Hat Cafe was packed every frickin' morning. It was just packed. It was packed. And I thought, I loved the atmosphere there. And I thought, I want to do that for my retirement, man. I want to open a breakfast counter. Yeah, just a breakfast counter. Because that gives me, I shake it out 3 o'clock in the morning, get the kitchen prepped, everything. And then I get off at noon. I got the rest of the day to do whatever I want, Yeah, I thought that would have worked out good. Hey, Off the Hook Outdoors, good to see you.
Now, where was that hard hat? Are they still there or no? They're probably not.
No, it's gone. She passed away, and her daughter was an attorney in California, and her daughter felt really bad about it, but she just sold the property and they tore the place down.
Yeah, that's
so it's a jewel from the past,
Yeah. Well, Sty.
Matt can picture you cooking 5 pounds of something on your grill.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at there.
Hey, babe.
What?
Look to your right. Up to the right. Look up. Tell Sty bye.
Bye, Sty.
Bye, sweetie. Oh, I liked your walk in the park.
Oh,
By the way, Mojo.
yeah. Where that was over? Oh, that was down by the opening or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a live stream, believe it or not, on my other channel.
Did you?
It was the first time I've done that, but it was just a rib ceremony going on, a rib cutting ceremony. The Native Americans, what is it? The Tacoma, the tribe that's out there, donated a lot of money.
Oh, wow. To the park?
Yeah, and they do a lot of stuff in that community.
Wow.
And it's right on the waterfront in the Puget Sound, and it's a beautiful, beautiful park that's been there for hundreds of years, man, and it's just a gorgeous place.
I saw some of the comments to watch. I don't remember the whale's name. To watch for such a whale.
Yeah.
And keep your eyes open. They've been spotting orcas, and I'm just like, oh fuck! I'd go plop a chair on that beach, and I'd sit there all goddamn day.
There's a lot of it out there, but I'm gonna let you go, sir. I need to get to bed. It's late.
You bet. Yeah, you got work, man.
And wish you the best next week with all your stuff. So,
love you, brother.
Yep, love you too, man. You take it. Everybody in the chat, have a fabulous week. And here I go. You ready for this? Say something nice to somebody. You know,
might be the only thing they hear that's nice today.
Yeah, that's right. All right, man. You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Mojo is great, man. He's the thorn in my saddle when it comes to food. It's just, it's torture for me to watch what he's prepping because it looks so damn good. And I told him he feels bad that, I'm watching and can't eat it. I told him, I said, no. That's the kind of torture I actually enjoy. If I can't have it, at least I can watch, Yeah.
Right.
One of those look but don't touch kind of deals,
Yeah. Take notes for when you can have it.
Yeah. And he put out in the chat that you're supposed to, Running Water, you're supposed to have an amazing evening also.
Yeah, I've had nothing but thunderstorms today.
Really?
Yeah, I'm traveling with the storm.
Oh, been riding with you the whole trip. It was beautiful today here, and like I said, I only got about 45 minutes to be actually just outdoors. But the week looks like it's going to be okay. Nothing great, but okay. At least the temperatures are supposed to be pretty moderate, pretty comfortable. They changed it up a bit. The only chances of rain we have are Wednesday and Thursday. Otherwise, there's really no chance of rain. And it's supposed to stay in Monday. Tomorrow, the high is 63. Cool tomorrow. And then 70, 72, 72, 73, 70. So it's going to be right around 70 degrees all week. And about 50 degrees at night. So it's going to be a good week. Yeah. Weather-wise. That's one of the reasons your sister is actually coming up this week, is that Wednesday and Thursday I may have a problem with transporting myself to the appointments. So she's going to be here to help get me to my appointments. And then on Thursday after the appointment, she'll help me stock up with groceries so I can make it through about a week to recover, We didn't have any real storms here, Justin. the couple of rumblers over the lake the one night, but otherwise it was nice all weekend. Yeah. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday were pretty nice days. Yeah, it was nice. Monday, I didn't have treatments last Monday, so I got a 3-day off. And that's what really bothered me is that how sick I got even after having 3 days off. That was frustrating. But stands to reason. The last 5 radiation treatments are cranked right up. They're maxed out. And then my last chemo was on Tuesday of last week, and that was cranked up. That was one last big dose. And so I guess what's coming with it isn't surprising. But at least I don't have to do chemo this week, just radiation. Najukui says that their community was underwater from the storm. Wow. I see up Superior National Forest, I believe it is. Well, it's Voyager National Forest is virtually shut down. I saw pictures of the campgrounds up there, and I mean, water above the seats of the picnic tables. I mean, whole campground. You ain't staying there unless you're staying in a rubber boat, you know.
Well, they got those raft tents.
Yeah. Najukui, the surgery is it's still unknown as to when it will be, but 3 weeks from Thursday, 3 weeks after Thursday, then I have a video conference with the surgeons and their support staff. And then at that conference, we're going to set up my PET scan. I go in and get a full PET scan done. They get that PET scan, and they're going to want it for a week or two. So it'll be 3 weeks beyond that. That's a month and a half before they're able to review that PET scan. And then once they've reviewed that, they're going to be getting a hold of me, and we'll be setting up the pre-op. And if everything goes the way we're all trying to make it work, I will travel to Rochester, Minnesota, and they'll do the pre-op. And depends on when they do it. If they do it early enough in the morning, they'll put me in surgery the same day. Otherwise, they'll put me in surgery the following day. So they're talking a month is the absolute soonest it could happen after Thursday, 1 month after Thursday. So we're talking sometime after July 9th. And that the latest would be possibly the second week of August. So that'd be the latest. Well, if they don't do it till the second week of August, then I've got August, September, and part of October that I'll be recovering. So my summer is shot, except for the next month and a half, 2 months. If I recover well from these treatments, maybe I can get outside and do some. I was going to drive down to Black Lake yesterday, but I didn't have the energy. Just didn't have the energy to take that trip down there. It's only about a 45-minute drive down there, 45 minutes to an hour. But I just didn't know if I could even handle that, in the truck for an hour and a half, 2 hours, plus visit with Travis and his family down there. About 5 weeks from now, then. Yeah. Well, yeah, 4 weeks. If we're about 4 weeks from tomorrow is when I'll have that video conference. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Fulton, we'll keep you in your prayers. Mr. Fulton had a family member they lost just recently. And so keep Mr. Fulton in your prayers, would you? Thanks, Matt J. Thanks. Yep. Loss is one thing you can count on. We all have to suffer loss. It's just part of the game, I guess. Doesn't make it easy, but it's just something that we all know is coming. Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm going to have to be wrapping it up. Like I said, I got to get up at 5 a.m. It's only 9 o'clock here, so actually, if I went to bed, if I shut this down, went to bed, I get almost 8 hours of sleep. But no, I'm going to go take some Lanacane and a little bit of codeine, and then I'm going to eat. Then I'm going to bed. If I get 6 hours, I'm good. So everybody out there, you know Sty loves you. Hey, I want to thank you for coming and hanging out tonight. It was great, even though there wasn't an actual Sty story. But yeah, we told you a story of something that's happening now. The next chapter. Maybe a couple of Sundays or so from now, I'll have to do the next chapter in the No Story Sty Story Sunday. But until then, I'll take the best care I can of myself, but I'll take the best care you can of yourselves. Love you all. Oh, not Drew Queet. You don't have to do that. Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. And until I see you next time, which at this point, I'm planning on next Sunday. I want you all to have a wonderful week. Please. Yeah. It'll make me feel better if you have a good week. So until then, you all take care of yourselves. I'm going to do like I usually do. This is when I have energy. I'm going to do the shimmy off the porch with that girl in the fur coat. So we'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.